Greetings in the divine name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the First King Alpha, and I Divine Mother Empress Menen Queen Omega, and I the children of Jah Rastafari, representing for the Ankh Nation family, popularly known as Africa. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in I sight, O Jah. Greetings, ones and ones. Give thanks again for lending ear so I can articulate Rastafari. Now, this word sound, as usual, is always through the lens of Rastafari, and it's always reasoning about Rastafari, and this one is reflecting upon the first century of Rastafari, within the first century of Rastafari. Now, here is what I and I come to see within first century Rastafari. Rasta babies trying to abort themselves with the most anti-Rasta sentiment, like Selassie I know God, love is my religion. When these same Rasta babies gain their prominence from their fathers who says Selassie is the Almighty, black man, king and God, Christ in his kingly character. Leonard Howell and Robert Hines went to prison, declaring it so. Persecution did not sway them from declaring him, His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I. The destruction of Pinnacle nor Coral Garden massacre, aka Black Friday, could not change I and I from Jah Rastafari. Death before the Son a pledge never to deny the divinity of him as I and I black God. Never to conduct I and I selves in a manner that will bring disrepute / no betrayal of Rastafari. That is why Leonard Howell established Pinnacle to reinforce the communal principles of Rastafari through liberty of self-reliance and collective responsibility / security. Through land ownership for I and I survival, Pinnacle was Jamaica's equivalent to Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, USA, United States of America, that were both destroyed by the system of governance of white supremacy / black oppression. Destruction of Pinnacle in 1954 caused island-wide disbursement, which birthed the strong religious personalities Alexander Bedward, Bongo Watto, Bongo Eddie, Prince Emmanuel, Claudius Henry, Plano, Abuna Fox, Sam Brown, Prophet God, and nameless others, or countless others. With their own religious, these elders with their own religious and political concept of Rastafari, hence the birth of the divisive nature of Rastafari. Leonard Howell, Sounds of Black, everything was now black power radicalization in the 60s. In the 60s, with ones like Malcolm X and the Black Panther era of demanding social reform in America and the fight to decolonize Africa, ends the dreadlocks Rastaman and the Afro-militant look of bold acceptance of blackness of self. This is the birth of the Jah this and Jah that. These are the more militant Rastas. The Claudius Henry spawns from late 50s to 70s, along with Bustamante fervent persecution of Rastafari. His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I 66 visit to Jamaica stopped blatant persecution of Rastafari, which gave rise to the more religious, all-inclusive of Rastafari. Hence the One Love tailoring of Bob Marley's One Love Rasta entertainers and religious zealots and Christianization of Rastafari. Selassie, His Majesty's Selassie is a Christian. Therefore, Rastafari should be Christians also. From the 70s onward, Rastafari has entered into the safe space of religion and entertainment. Rasta religious personalities vying towards religious exploitation of the mass, like their Christian counterparts, and Rasta entertainers individualism of wealth through the restitution of Rastafari message music, with the likes of the Marleys, Buju, Sizzla, Capleton, Beanie Man, and all the rest of them in their quest individualize aggrandizement in the footstep of Bob Marley. No more Rastafari collective communalism like Leonard Howell's pinnacle, self-sustaining community of black families / people. All of this within first century of Rastafari. From the 1930s to 2024 is 94 years of Rastafari manifestation. Bob Marley on a pedestal gave rise to the semblance of entertainers as Rasta leaders. Rasta entertainers is not Rastafari leaders. An entertainer's job is to make money from their crafts. Rastafari is a liberation movement that is staunchly against white oppression and domination. Rastafari is resistance, boldly declaring blackness spiritually. His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, physically the black divine family, and mentally knowing who you are, knowing your identity is Jah Rastafari without division nor apology. Now, this is just I in a reflective mode. I reflect on Rastafari, you know, and just a vibes, and I looked in the evolution within Rastafari and the viability of Rastafari. And I, as a children of Rastafari, know that Rastafari is viable. And I have to do away the divisive mindset and return back to the core value of Rastafari, which is representing the divine blackness. There's no need for confusion as Rastafari. Rastafari is oneness. One aim, one God, one destiny. That's the foundation Rastafari. This is what Leonard Howell and them established. And I have to do away with the divisiveness and collectively come forward again, re-establishing the oneness of Rastafari. I as Rastafari recognize that the past is important. We have to look, and the past told us that it's divisiveness that gave the northern recessive, aggressive people ascension over I and I, because back then it was tribal and religious. Now, in a present time, you still have tribalism, but the title them changed. Now you have gangs. And you still have the religious divisive nature that is still existence. And Rastafari come to eradicate all of that and gave us that which is birthed from I and I. No one gave it to us. They did not give it to us. It's I and it was birthed out of white oppression and domination. And it's I is the one who refused to accept what they say and what they think and how I is supposed to be. That is Rastafari resistance. And I have to come back within the oneness as the elders them establish Rastafari a one order. So I just I reflect within the first century of Rastafari and adapt upon I heavens. So I just articulate it for the ones and ones them, you know what I mean? To get an insight into the fullness of Rastafari as it was intended and as it should be, representing the divine black family. Rastafari, resistance, survival. I will that I will to do. And I don't need no permission to do for I self. A Rastafari that in essence, you know. And now we have to get into the mindset of oneness and knowing that it's only within the oneness survival can be attained. So until such time again, Jah Rastafari without apology. Sealer.